Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I'm here with a little video. I am doing a few things for my boho journal, and I thought I would just turn on the camera so maybe you guys might want to do just a little craft along. Today I'm making an insert for the center, or actually two inserts for the centers of my signatures. And I'm using some envelopes that I had got on clearance. And I mean, you can use any envelopes to do this, any cardstock. It's just this what I have on hand, and it kind of goes with my whole boho theme. They're not hard to make and they're not super time consuming, but you can make them as elaborate as you want. You know, I'm doing the boho, kind of blingy boho this time around, and so I picked out some papers from some paper pads that I had, and they're really beautiful, and I'm going to vary these up a lot with this so that they're kind of mixed together, because to me that kind of reminds me of the different sari silk and things like that, and boho, and just kind of mixing it, but kind of all that same types of patterns and things like that. I'm gonna use some cardstock, some papers that I bought. It's kind of an excuse for me to use them. These are the envelopes that I bought in a pack that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I remember I said go to the clearance aisle and you'll see the blank wedding invitations, and they're just blank. They don't have anything written on them. But I think this was like $2.97 for 25 invitations, 25 reply cards, and 25 envelopes, which is, you know, quite a lot. Anyway, so I'm going to be using 2 of these envelopes. I'm also going to be using 4 of the reply cards, but we're just going to do the one together. Maybe we'll have time for 2, but we shall see, because sometimes I can get things done quickly, but not often. Anyway, but we're just going to do something that is kind of an insert to the middle of your signature if you want it to be, that allows you to kind of put things in them and maybe a special something. Anyway, this is a larger envelope, so your envelope can be whatever size you want. See, that's scratched up, so I may not want to use that one, although I doubt anyone would notice. That's got something on it. Let's try another one. Boy, no luck here. Let's see, here's another one up here. Alright, so we have an envelope that'll work. This one is, let's see here. This one is, yeah, this is, you know, 8.5 by 5.5. So, you know, it's a decent size, because we're going to fold it in half and use it in our signature that way. Okay, so we'll be using this half on one side and that half on the other side of the page, but this is going to sit in the middle of our signature. I like to have something kind of substantial, like a card or something, and something that's, you know, a little different, and I'm going to do that with this. So let's get started with it, and really all you need is your paper cutter, your hole punch, scissors, glue, and, you know, some of the other things are they're optional, so you can just kind of see as we go along what you want to put in there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move this over here for a second. So basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this envelope, and the reason I picked it, it's got this nice lining in it, and it's pretty sturdy, not too thick, and I like the colors in it. I think it'll go really well with the theme. So I am just going to fold this directly in half and use my bone folder. Okay, so I've got it like that. And you know, you could cover this portion right here and then fold it in half and then cut the sides and put that in signature and put something there and there and call it a day, and that would be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Or cut the tops. I mean, that's what a lot of people do. We're going to do this one a little bit different. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to cover this. I'm actually going to use the envelope portion of this just because I like the lining, and it'd be kind of a shame to waste it. But this is what we're going to do with it. But we're going to make it fancier and a little bit nicer. So I'm going to use my paper trimmer. I guess we can use this one. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going ahead and I am going to cut off a big portion of this. I just want to keep a little bit on there. You won't see it when we're done. But I'm going to cut part of that off because I won't need it. So probably just, it doesn't really matter, but right just above where it starts to curve. We want enough left later, and you can save this later. Obviously you could use it for a lot of things, but anyway, so obviously we can't use it like that because we have this spot here, and here's where you have some choices, okay? What you could do is you could take a paper and you could cover this portion right here, right? And then maybe go down a little bit and then cut this, and then you would have a little flap here, and then you'd have a little insert here. Or like I said in the beginning, you could have just covered this whole side and then had an insert on the top or on the side. But we're going to use the inside of this, and it's not a big deal, you know, if you don't want to do it that way. It won't make that much difference. You can still kind of do some of the other things. Okay, so I'm going to cut these because we want them to work independently of each other. And I'm going to cut it in the middle. And then I'm going to kind of slant it. Just do a little half a triangle out of there. And it doesn't matter if they perfectly match because you're not going to see them. Now, if you wanted to, you could do it to where you see them. Like I said, you could just cut both sides, make sure they're the same, and put something underneath it, and that could be your thing. But we're not doing that. Okay, so that is going to be our envelope, and like I said, we are going to use this side in here, and obviously we're not going to leave it like that. Now, what I want to do is I want to make little money envelopes on each side. So what I'm going to do is find a paper that I like to put on here that will go all the way down here, and measure and decide, you know, how big I want those. Now I could do this with any of these. A lot of them, if you see these colors in here, would go really well. Let's see. And some of these have prints on both sides. And I don't know if you can tell or not, on some of these they have like a glistening type paper. They're really pretty. I don't know. I might do this one, I think. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, so let me put this aside for a second. And we're going to use some of these other papers too, but this is what we're going to start with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, rather than measure these individually, I am just going to do this. I'm going to use my envelope, and I am going to just take it like that, and this is just the lazy way. And I know that means I'm going to have to make it at least that length. So I think what I'm going to do, I actually don't want to use that big part. I think I'm going to cut this off. But I don't think that's going to be long enough. Let me see. Probably not. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be. I'm going to cut off this other piece, and then I think maybe just make it a little bit longer here. Okay. And now that I've got this, this is my width that I want. Looks like it might be a little bit too big, but that's okay. We can fix that. I'm just going to cut off a piece of this. Probably a little bigger than I need, but that's okay. And we will use part of these pieces later. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, this is going to go here, but in two separate pieces. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. Again, you can use your bone folder. You can cut it with your scissors. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, but you need to cut that in half. And then I would cut off a sliver also. So what I'm going to do is, you don't want it to be the exact width because you need a little room. So I'm going to go just a tiny bit. I may have to cut off more, we'll see. You have to leave a little bit of room because you need it to be able to open and that type of thing. So I don't know, maybe a tiny bit more. If I do that there, yeah, just a tiny, tiny bit. And I think we'll be okay. So we'll do that. Did that go the other way? Yeah, I think it did. All right, so let me just do just another little sliver so that we know that we've got room in there. Okay, so anyway, now that I've done that, what I'm going to do, let me see if that'll work. That's actually going to go on top like that. And we're leaving room, you see, for this to open and close. Did I do that the wrong way? Yeah, I think I did. That's where it goes like that. Okay, that'll work. And then, all right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I am going to not really fold it, but kind of sort of pretend fold it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make a little curve up toward the middle. Probably about here. Okay. It's not as round as I wanted it, but we shall see how long it hangs down. Well, that might be about right. Okay. Okay, so then I've got to get the one that's the same width. That's going to be this one. I just take the other one and I line it up and I cut it out with this one. So then I have two that are the same size. Now, if you want to line this, you can. This is kind of a metallic type paper. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm not going to line it. I'm going to leave it just like that. And I'm going to put that one right there. Okay. And I'm going to line these up with the sides because, like I said, this little gap right here, you won't even see that because that's going to be inside the signature. And if you don't have that gap, then it's not going to open and close very easily. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and ink these up a little bit. So let me get my ink out. And I don't know how much this ink's going to help, but we shall see. I would really like it to look a little bit more worn. But, okay, so I'm going to put that on there. Also going to ink up the envelope a little bit. Alright, let me do that. I'm not doing that part, but I'll do here. Anyways, what this is going to do is be the base for the rest of what we're going to make. And you will see that very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and do the outside of this. Not sure how much of it I'm going to cover. I don't usually know until I get there exactly what I'm going to do, but I kind of have an idea, but I don't always follow through. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put glue right here so that I can attach the tops of these, and I'm going to make them even with the outside. I know that there's a gap right there on the inside, but that's okay because we won't see that later. And we did that intentionally because we want to be able to open and close this envelope. But I'm just using my glue stick. I think that will be strong enough. I'm making sure I don't go over the bend there, otherwise it won't open and close. Okay, so that'll be like that. Make sure that's there on straight. So then we're going to do the other one. Again, I'm lining it with the outside because I know that I need the gap on the inside, and I'm also making sure I'm not going over the line. So there we go. So that's it. And like I said, see, there's your gap there, but once you put that in the signature, you won't see that. And this makes sure that you can get it up and down. Okay. Now on the inside, I'm probably going to go ahead and add a couple brads right here. But before I do that, I'll put the brad there and I'll put some string or whatever. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and add my other elements to this. Like I said, you could just call this a day. It's a pretty envelope. You could put your brad and your thing and tie it on there and then have that as the inside, and that would be more than enough. But I'm going to just kind of move this along a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add extra layers to this. I want to make it a little bit more interesting. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take, and I'm only doing this because I have these. You could take just some cardstock, which actually is not a bad idea. In fact, we could do that on this. Get one that has more pink in it. Maybe not. I say that, and I didn't really pick one out to do that. Let me see. See, this would be pretty. You could just do it with this, and it would do the same thing that this is doing. Let me mark it, and then we can kind of go down that road, and you can see what I'm talking about. I think I really want this part to show, though. Okay. What this is, this card goes in. This is the invitation that actually fits inside here. So it's a little bit smaller, as you can see. If you want to do this, and I was using the card for this, but if you don't want to do that and you want to use cardstock, you could certainly do that too. And I'm just going to show you that either one would work. You know, you can start with your envelope and then just kind of move on. It's up to you, so you don't have to do what I'm doing, but like I said, I got this in a set and I might as well use it. So let me see, go ahead and cut the width of that so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, it didn't cut very good, did it? Gotta need a new blade. Okay. That didn't cut very straight. Let me do it again. I think it's because it has the glitter too. Sometimes I have to get a new cutter. Just have to. Every time I think I'm gonna do it, I don't know. I have a lot of them, but I have a lot of bad ones, so what good does that really do, right? Okay, so what I'm doing here, you can either do with cardstock or you can do with, this is in essence just cardstock, okay? So if I cover this, if I put these two together, then it will do exactly the same thing. But what I'm going to do, basically, let me go ahead and, I think I'm going to fold it first because I think these are going to, where'd my bump? Oh, there it is. Let me fold these two. Or maybe I'll put them together first. How about that? I don't want them to crack. That's what I'm afraid of. Okay. And all I'm doing don't tell me I'm going to run out of glue stick. I go through so many of these glue sticks. I don't know, I think there was an 18 pack and then a 24 pack on Amazon. And I got the 18 pack and then I'd gone through so many so quick I have no idea what I was thinking because I use a lot. Out of the way, I have no idea why that's there. Okay. One thing that I learned is get the bottom lined up and then the rest of it will fall in place. So we want to get this on there pretty straight. And then, yeah, see? And that's really pretty. Got a few white ends there. Oh my gosh, right in that corner. That's okay, I can fix that. All right, let me just trim that up. Use these scissors. That's just me cutting it crooked. All right. Now I'm going to ink these up too. Make sure I get that good again on the edges. All right. You can use two-sided cardstock. You don't have to do what I'm doing. This makes it a little bit bulkier and thicker, which you may not want. It just depends on, you know, what you're doing. Put a little bit more ink. But you probably want to pick paper that somewhat coordinates. I don't like things to match perfectly, but okay. And then we want to do this on another piece. And I'm not sure if I want to do the same. Let's see, do I want to do that? And then that, maybe. Right? Maybe? What are my other options, guys? Kind of clashes with that other. That's kind of cool too. I think it's supposed to go that way. You know, I always find out later y'all are screaming at me to do things a certain way. I think I'm going to do this one. And I hope that's the choice that y'all made. So anyway, so let me cut that out. And you know, like I said, you do not have to double these. I could have just easily put the one on there with this. And actually, I don't know, maybe I'll go back and do that. That one was white on that side though, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the deal. I don't know. Let me see. As pretty as this is, it might end up being too thick. Because I did the other one. What did I do with the envelope? So this is going to go here and then here. Okay. Make sure I'm folding it the right way. And this is, because it's thick, I want to make sure I'm not cracking it. I'm just going to kind of gently move it down. Okay, so here's our piece that basically is essentially a card that's going to fit inside here. So then that is going to go right here. And then go back in here and go down like that. Okay. And then do I want this one here like that? I guess that goes that way on the pattern. Or do I want two the same? See, this one I could leave like that, but I think I'm going to use the same one. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'll do it like that, and then I'll use that one for the other one. Okay. So let me see if I have enough of this going this way. So that has to go. I gotta make it the theme. So that's gonna go like that, right? And like I said, I could measure, but I don't usually. Which is kind of dangerous when you only have one piece of paper. But I'm living on the wild side anyway. Did not cut it well. Alright, so there's my other piece. And I'm gonna try and do it the same way. Or maybe it'd be better if I did it the opposite way. I don't know. So that is gonna go here. And glue stick is under here. So anyway, kind of made the decision to do that. I really was trying so hard to figure out what I wanted to do today. I was just kind of in a weird mood. I did not want to do anything super messy. It was just really bizarre. Usually I love doing things messy, and I finally figured out what that issue was, is that I had just kind of cleaned up my craft room, and I think I just wasn't in the mood to clean up anymore. I had it, and I think I finally realized something, that you know, you do have to clean up your craft room after you do stuff. Ooh, that's way off. What is going on over there? It's not off on top. I guess I just cut it bad. I'll have to go back in and trim it. Is that side? No, it's just that one side. You do have to go and clean your craft room, but I do think what happens is if you spend, you know, hours and hours cleaning like I did, it wasn't really cleaning, it was putting things away, because I had taken some things with me on my trip, and then so I had all that to put away, and then I had a bunch of things that I had dug through and done before I left that I didn't put away, and it just was a lot. And then a bunch of hauls that I had that I hadn't put away, and it was just, gosh, by the time I got done, it was like, I wanted to craft. Hadn't done anything since I had gotten back from my trip, and I'm like, and I hardly did anything while I was gone, just because I didn't really have time. You know. So anyway, here, I better ink that up a little bit. And that looks like it needs a little help here too. I got a little white on that end. I am not good at cutting straight. Anyway, but I think I've come to realize that I really just need to do about an hour a day of straightening up and cleaning, because I get so frustrated, you know, and just worn out that I'm just not in the mood to do anything when I get done. So I gotta just not make, I mean, I just need, I tend to be a perfectionist somewhat, and I gotta let go of some of that. And when it's straightened up and I know where everything's at, I need to let it go. Let me go ahead and start doing this a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get to the fun part soon, I promise. Okay. And I really do want this to look a little bit dingier, even though it is kind of bright. But I want it to be bright but old, I guess, is the look I'm going for. I don't know if that's possible, but we're going to try. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, God, I'm so tired. I don't know if y'all are like that, but boy, it was just a lot to put away. And, you know, I'll have to admit, I will let my craft room kind of go farther than it should, but I'll tell you, right when I'm finishing a journal, it can go crazy, because I'll just go through this process where I know I want a certain thing, or a certain look, or certain something, and I'll be looking all around and tearing through things and pulling things out, and I mean, it just looks like everything that I own in my craft room is out when I finish a journal. It really is, because I do that. I'll have ideas, you know, that are just, they're just there, and I don't even know how to explain it, but I just like, you know, I have to find the certain thing that I know is going to work or whatever. And if I don't, then forget it. Okay, so now I am going to take these. Let me see, now how did I decide? That's going to go there. Do I want to do that there? Okay, or I could. Yeah, okay. All right, so now what we're going to do, we basically have our two cards here. I think you could get away with doing them either way. I don't think it would make any difference. Let's see, let's put that like that, and then they're the same. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put, I think maybe I'll do it this way. I am going to attach this to here, and then this is going to fold over and come over here, okay? So the way I'm going to do that, let me put this one over here. Let me move this stuff out of the way so y'all can see. I'm just going to take this over here and put it here, and I am going to just use some washi tape to do that, okay? And when I do that and I put the washi tape on the inside, you won't see it on the inside, okay? So, and then this will come down. Now you could put it on the back only, but I don't know. Let me see, if I do that, I do that, do that. It's going to be on this side. I don't mind it on this side, but the reason I say that is on these pieces right here, This you may want to leave the way that it is because it's pretty decorative. But on these pieces, I would probably put some paper in there and decorate it, or put something in there, okay? This you really can't because that's your envelope, but we're going to put something in there, okay? So this piece on the back is this piece. Wait a minute. Is this piece. So if you put the washi tape there, then you're covering up that, okay? I kind of would rather have it over there. Then it's going to be I don't want it to cover that though. I'm just going to put it on the inside. I think that would work better. So we're going to do that. That goes down, that goes up. Alright, let's just do... Oh, wait, I did it exact opposite. And we'll do it on the inside. Go like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I had some gold washi tape. You can use any kind you want. I just happen to have this. And I always put glue down with my washi tape because it pretty much is, it's not meant to stick permanently. And we want something to stick permanently here, so... And the way I do it is I put half. I'm only doing this. This is shorter than the actual envelope, so I'm going to do it first. And it already has glue on it. And I'm going to do it a little bit higher and then cut it. And I'm going to do it halfway. Where's my other smaller scissors? Okay. And then since this is a little bit taller, not much, I kind of split the difference is what I do. So I'm going to take this, and I don't want it to be butt up against there. I want a tiny, 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 tiny gap. And split. I might turn it over to do it. Do you see that in the back? I'm kind of splitting the difference. And I'm leaving a tiny, tiny slither of a gap. And you need that so it'll fold. Okay. And if you want it super secure, like I said, you can put washi on the other side. But I don't think we're going to need it for this because it's kind of a, not a tape, but more of a kind of a plasticky type washi. So I don't think, I got too much glue on there, but we're going to cover that up. But anyway, so that holds that down, and then this goes, oh gosh, I did do it too close, I think. We've got to have more of a gap. Let me put some more glue on that. A little bit more of a gap here. Oop, that's too much. I do have another washi I could put on back. That way you don't have that little bit in there, but okay. Yeah, because this is hard, this is thicker cardstock, so it just need a little bit wider of a gap. You just need enough to it'll fold over. Okay, and then make sure that dries. that is going like that, and then this goes like that. Okay, so you're going to do that to the other side. Okay, leave that there for a second. I'm going to do that exactly the same. And I'll do the card part first because it is a tiny bit shorter. That way it's easier to line up. I do 50-50 because it's not going to be all the way on there. Cut that. Okay, now I'm going to put some glue on here. I didn't put glue on this, and I really need to. Put some glue on there. Because it will not, usually will not stick. I mean, you may get some washi that's really good and it sticks, but most of the time it doesn't. Okay, so now I'm going to put some glue on this before I put it on the other side. Alright, so then that, you can just see the gap better if you do it on the other side. You want to make sure that you have enough of one in there that it will fold over. And like I said, I just split the difference between the top and the bottom. You could line it with the top or do whatever if you want it exact, but it will probably turn out okay if you do that. Okay, I don't think that has enough glue right up there. Okay. All right, so now we've done that. Let that dry just a oh, that's what the deal was. I had that stuck on there with it. Oh, that was not good. Wonder if that got enough glue on there. And I'm just going to kind of go over it with the bone folder just to kind of make sure it's stuck down good. Let that sit for a second. And what that does is that gives you this little thing here where this comes over like that. And then you have these two sides. Now on these, you can leave them as a place to write. They're already kind of decorative because I use these, I used the envelope that was already had this design on it. So that's why I wasn't too concerned about using the heavier cardstock, because I'm probably not going to put any extra papers on here unless they're very lightweight. But if you didn't have that, you could decorate the back of it. I'm just going to leave it because it can end up being a journaling space if you want. This part right here, again, this is all a writing space, but then, you know, if you don't have this card, you could just, like I said, use a two-carded cardstock, or you can double it. And then on this side you have that, okay? And then you have this side, and you could put a picture here. You could do whatever it is that you want to do. Because I doubled these, if you'd wanted to, you could have made a pocket in there. You could have made a pocket up here. Whatever it is that you want to do with it, okay? For my purposes, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it just like this. Now what I'm going to do, I may do that on the other one, but on this one, I'm just going to leave it like this, kind of simple. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my little eyelet in there and decorate it up a little bit. All right, hold on just a second and let me get everything I need to get, and then we will get this all done. Okay, so I got everything that I needed, and I just wanted to show you real quick how we did this. I had these little circles that I cut out with my 1-inch circle punch, and every single time I have packaging that's kind of thick or something, or not every single, I put it in a pile, and when I get a chance I cut out a bunch of these little circles just because I know I'll eventually use them. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to go ahead and cut or put a hole in the middle of them for my brad. I think I can do both at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so we have the hole in there. And I just have some little turquoise brads here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these underneath these little flowers that I have. And then I'm going to put this on top. I think that'll look okay. I'm not sure. Let me see real quick. I haven't really planned this out, or I would have had them ready. Yeah, those two. Yeah, so I kind of have to find the middle of this, kind of, sort of. Doesn't have to be exact, but, and I do want to put this leaf on there. Where'd my glue go? I'll use that. I had two flowers that I wanted to use, and one of them didn't have a leaf, so I thought, well, I'll just, this was just from some extra ephemera that I had from something in a package, and I thought, well, I don't want to just put this on there like that, so anyway, I'm going to glue this on to the back of my flower and line up the holes. And that's just to give it some stiffness and width and all that. I'm going to put a hole in the middle of this, and I'm so bad about getting the middle, but I'm going to try my best. Where's my little sticky out thing here? This thing always gets clogged. They always get clogged, don't they? Okay, so I want to make sure I do both the same. So let me see. Yeah, that'd be about right. Make sure that's the middle. Go straight up the middle. Okay, let me kind of do that. Cutting straight and getting in the middle, but man, those are not my, oopsie, I didn't even do that right. Those are not my strong suits, let me tell you. Yeah, so that should make them the same. Yeah, I would say that's pretty close. Okay, and then I gotta put a circle in here. Doesn't really matter where I put this one, just along with it. Somewhat in the middle. Alright. And then I gotta put that on there. Line those up. Okay. So I am just going to put this, and this is just for decoration really, for the, the flower part of it. The other part isn't to keep it closed, but let me put that in here. And you could just use a regular brad. You don't have to use one of these, but there we go. Well, I'm going to put that right there. And then where did my other brad go? Oh, they're in here, I think. Here we go. This one's kind of messed up a little bit. Maybe I use a different color. I don't know. I'll just use the, let's see, what do I have over there? I have green. I thought I had, oh, there's more. Okay, here's more. Is this one more turquoise? And then these two, I'll just use the same, I guess. I don't know that it would matter. I doubt anyone would notice, but I'm kind of like that. Okay. So then that one's going to go in there and go through here. Come on. I don't have this together enough. Anyway. Now, you can take like a piece of paper, or like I probably will later, and just put that, you know, down there, just across here, just to cover that up, just because I like to, but you don't have to. I mean, that's just basically. Now, you could leave it like that because it probably will stay, but I'm going to do one more thing. If I can remember what I did with my other ribbon that I just cut. Here it is right here. Okay. So I'm going to just take this ribbon and I'm going to cut the sides. Okay, probably didn't need to cut that side, but all right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie one around here, and because of that extra disc in there, we have a little extra space, and it goes all the way around it. And then I'm going to just make sure I have enough to go around. Let's see. I should have more than enough. Yeah. Okay. So all you're going to do is make sure you get it underneath the round disc. You're just going to tie it on there and not leaving much because you're using it to wrap around. You definitely could use string for this. I'm just using this because I have it, and you can double knot it if you want. I usually just put a dab of glue so it's not as bulky. Okay, and then you just take it and you put it around, and that is how you close this. So, and that ribbon will just hang down there like that, and do the same thing with the other one. So that's just going to go around here. And like I said, you can yeah, if you don't have that glued to the other one, this one's not glued real good. I'm gonna have to go back and glue it. The disc, it'll go in between, and you're wanting it to go behind that green disc that you put in there because that's thicker and more stable, and that's the point of it, really. Did that go behind it? Good, it did. But I didn't glue that very well, so I have to go back in and glue it again. And I'm gonna put a dab of glue on my knot anyway, because I like to do that rather than to tie a double knot when I can, because then that way it doesn't make it so bulky. And then this will just go around like that, and then you'll take that and it will loop around. I think that one's a little bit longer. We'll have to cut it, but for the most part, that's it. And that's your little insert that you can put in. Like I said, you can decorate the other pages. You can do whatever it is you want to do. I, didn't on this one because I kind of felt like it was bulky enough with the double. But anyway, it goes on the bottom. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, they turned out about the same size. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Then you open it up, and you could put a picture here, you could put anything you'd like to do, and then you have journaling in there, and then you have some pockets in there. You could put, anything you want in there, really. I mean, and then do that. If you wanted to, you could add pockets in here. Like I said, and I'm going to show you this other one that I'm doing that I'm not finished with, but I will show you that on this one, I did basically the same thing. You have the same setup with the envelope. The only difference is on this one, what I did is, remember how we glued the two pieces together? Well, this I just put the double, I left it open so that you could have a pocket on top and then a pocket on the side. And that's pretty much it. I'll show you really quick. You're going to do the same thing that you did before. I'm just going to add this to that and fold it in half. And it's basically everything you did before, except you're not going to glue it all the way around. And that actually makes your other two pockets. Now you have to put the top pocket on here, and whatever you put in it, like up here, okay, it would have to not stick out, because not above this portion, because when you go like this, it has to fold inside, okay? And then the same thing with this. Let me see if I can find something that's a little different. Like if you put this in, or one of these in there. I need a smaller one. I don't know if that'll fit, and I don't really want to cut it. Yeah, that won't either. Let me see. Whatever, like let's say for instance I put that in there, it has to, it can't stick out. It has to be able to, I mean, you'll see it because you've got the cutout, but you can't let it interfere with this closing, okay? So that's the only thing if you make pockets out of it. Everything else would be the same. This part, all you're going to do is take this, do exactly the same as you did on the other one, except, get my glue out, you're going to glue it down the middle, right down the middle. And for this, you're going to do that first. So that gets you right in the middle. And then, after you do that, just make sure that's in there good. And make sure it's not going up the side, because I've done that where the glue kind of spreads. Okay, so then all you're going to do, this is your top pocket. So you're just going to take this and glue it from here, just here to here. I don't know, my glue's not coming out real good. And before I put it together, I'll punch my half a circle in the middle. Okay, and then what, oh, it came apart. Let me do that again. I pulled it apart. And make sure you get that in there good. I have it in the wrong spot. Okay, there we go. And then that will make your top pocket. And then on the other side, just do that. Go down a little bit more. Okay. And then all you're going to do is just do those two. Yeah, I got to work on my glue here. I left the top off too long. Okay, so then those two will go like that. Get that in there good. And then all you're going to do then is you're going to put your tape on the back of that, which I don't know if I have any glue sticks left in here. Did I put them all up there? I think I have one here. Hold on. Nope, maybe not. Okay. Let's see. Do I have a glue stick over here? I might have a little bit of a glue stick left here. Okay, so you're just going to take that And where's the end of my washi tape? Okay, and put some glue. I gotta get another glue stick. Oh, this one's just about done. I'm gonna use it anyway, but here we go. That's glue stick from the bottom. Drives me crazy sometimes. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm doing this the right way. I think this goes like that. No, it goes like, how's it go? Okay, so that is gonna go, no, it can't go sideways. It has to go. Uh-oh, I might have done it. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I did this one. Oh no, I did it right. There we go. Okay. But there is going to be, what do you call it? Glue stick on this on there, so. Hold on, maybe I could do it. Yeah, it has to go this way. What did I do with my tape? So you're basically going to be just taking your tape, doing the same thing you did before. I really didn't want to do it on that gold part, but I guess I wasn't paying attention. Okay. And then cut that off. Do it better than I did it. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, and so then what's going to happen is you will then have your pockets on top, right there, and then on the side. And you'll do you're doing basically the same thing as the other one. You're just not gluing it all the way, and that's really the only difference. So there you go, guys. That's it. That is everything, and that makes you 2 of them. I didn't, just put the other decorative parts on. I will probably decorate these up a little bit more, maybe put a little more gold on there and things like that. And like I said, I'll put pictures and stuff like that on it. But anyway, that's all I had to share today, so thanks a lot. Hi everybody, I just wanted to quick show you all the finishing touches that I did with these. And I did change a few things around, and I'll just show them to you real quick so you can see the finished product. Okay, so I'm not sure which one we did first. I think we did this one first, and I took off the bigger brads. Even though they were pretty, they made it really bulky, and I'm trying to keep it down to not be too bulky because I'm going to be adding a lot of stuff to it. And I don't want it to be too big. Again, this is going to be in the middle of the signature, so this is how it'll look, and you'll open it up. Anyway, you saw me make this. The only thing different that I did is I changed the brads because the 2 of them together were kind of bulky. So you open that up, and you open that up with the string. Let's see. I did add a pocket in the middle. You have your pocket here from your envelope, but I added another pocket because it just seemed like it was kind of a waste of space there. So that's going to go right here. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting that in there. Okay, so that goes there. And then you have one here, and that's the same on both sides. You have it here, and then you have it here. So there you go. Put that in there. All right. So then on this flap, I added just a little tiny pocket here. If you wanted to put something. I love this paper. I didn't want to cover too much of it up. So I went ahead and put that there. I put a little strip of paper here too because it was kind of odd the way we cut it. And then I put a little 1-inch circle around where the brads go. I always usually do that. It helps reinforce it, and I think it looks good. Of course, you could cover this whole thing if you wanted to. Again, here you've got another little pocket that I added. We didn't have any pockets on this one before. When you open it up, you've of course got journaling space here with the cards, and then you've got a little side pocket here and a little side pocket here. Okay, you fold it up, and that's how it goes, like that. So this is going to fit in there, and then you're going to tie it. But on the outside, this would be the page that you're turning there. You'll have a pocket here, and then another pocket here, and then of course you'll have one on the other side as well. Okay, so that's that one. Then the other one, let me move it over here, it's out of the way. This one, I did a little different closure so you could see the same process. We just did a few little things different, and you saw how I added the side pocket. If you double your, got a little piece of side pockets on it. But anyway, what I did is I added this little band here so that you could tuck it in instead of having to do the wraparound. It also has another belly band, so you could put something in here and then, you know, still tuck it there. So I left that like that. Okay, and of course this side is exactly the same. So I added again another piece of paper there, and then you know, you've got a belly band here, and then you've got this for your to close it. That's for your closure. And then this, if you open it up, this is where you had your other pockets. You have one that goes on top like this, and then you have one on the side. Okay, and then you have that on each side here too, here and then there. And then again, what I did is I added another pocket. It just seemed like a lot of space that we weren't using, so, you know, and you don't have to fill it up. So there's that one, and then there's the one behind. But I also added another little tiny pocket up front in case if you wanted to do that. Okay, on the back, all I have here is I just put in some belly bands so that if you wanted to tuck something in there you could, because I still wanted you to be able to have some writing space, you know, in there. So I didn't really do that much with that. Okay, on the very back I did add a couple of pockets on the back, and that they're just little thin pockets to put something in. I don't know if this will fit in there, well, barely, but anyway, there's just a pocket here and here. And of course I did on both of them and put some, you know, just some gold ribbon and a little bit that's pretty much all I did. I didn't really add that much. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put this in the journal, so I didn't want to do a lot to it until I figured out exactly what I'm going to do with it and where I'm going to put it. I may not even use both of these, but in any case, that is what they turned out to look like. That's how it's going to look in your journal, and then, or in a journal. And of course you can make these with any kind of paper you have, any kind of envelopes. This is just, you know, the sky's the limit as far as what you can add to it. You just have to realize that, you know, it is going to be a little bulky, but it is kind of a cool thing to have in the middle of a signature, because it does add a lot to it, and there's a lot of interaction with it. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure that everyone got to see the finished product. So thank you very much for watching.